刚才Jonathan 讲了关于进入银行的怎么进入银行，但是 Jonathan 的背景可能和大家还不太一样，他是比较小过来的那我们我觉得他是台湾人，那么我觉得从一个留学生的角度来讲，一个留学生怎么去进入澳大利亚的银行，是一个非常值得深入探讨的问题，也是大家可能想要听到的一个话题。那么我们接下来就有请8年的银行人 Westpac 的高级客户经理 Brenda 严来去分享她的经验，有请。Okay. No, really.
Good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say good evening? It has been a really, really long day. And I thank everybody who gave the speech. It has been really wonderful information. And I would say, thank you for your effort for being here. You just made the first point of stepping out to be something different. Anybody want to stand up and maybe move your shoulders and do some things so you can relax a little bit? Because I see a couple of people at the back yawning. Okay, I'm going to talk today in English because I can never speak as good as Sherry, who is one of my good girlfriends downstairs, in Chinese. Sean has asked me to talk about what banking life is like. Check out that photo on the big screen. That was taken last year. Okay. And look at me now. I look like 10 years older. This is okay. This is what banking life does to you. It is draining. It is extremely stressful, and you need to handle a lot of pressures, for sure. Of course, on another hand, you have some satisfactions, and you feel extremely happy at the end of the day because you helped so many clients. Let me give you a short introduction of myself. I have done a lot of things for my past. I've been in Australia for 10 years. Prior to the arrival, I studied at Beijing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics. It's a long word, Beijing 航空航天大学. I did my management information system for my bachelor degree. Oh my God. My brain was just not designed for doing IT. I just couldn't understand all the codings and databases. My academic score was not that good initially. I never got HDs. I was wandering around the C credit areas. So I knew I need to do something about it because I wouldn't be competitive when I graduate among all the graduates in Beijing to get into a large corporation. So I tried to do a lot of internships and tried to accumulate working experience since the freshman year of my college. First job I got was an intern job, unpaid, at Hill & Knowlton. It's one of the largest PR companies in the world. Although it was unpaid, I still treasure the opportunity because it just knocked open the door for me, which led to the second job I had in my sophomore year. I worked for KPMG. Mr. Richardson, I think he's outside, the company that he worked for. And when he talked about KPMG, I knew exactly what he was talking. It was extremely hard work in auditing, which I did 3-month internship there. 3 people, a freshman, first-year associate, and the intern, which is me. We got put in a 5-star hotel in Zhengzhou, you know, the Henan province. We did auditing for Sinopec, 中石化, including 114 cities. The whole province Sinopec companies and subsidiaries for 3 months. Every morning, I needed to get up at 6, and they pushed us to have breakfast. Oh my God, I'm not a morning person. I hate eating in the morning. And from 7 to 12, we started working nonstop. 12, we got forced to have lunch. After lunch, kept working, and dinner. And then kept working till 11, and we drove back to the 5-star hotel, put in the bed, and repetitively doing the same thing over and over again for that long period of time. No, auditing is definitely not for me after that internship. At least I know that. Third year, I set up my own translation studio. I hired a couple students from Tsinghua University and Beijing University, and I made them work for me. I went to talk to the publishing companies. I got 12 books translated for the next 2 years, period, which actually paid my tuition fee and all my living expenses in Beijing for my whole college life. And fourth year, I worked for Mini Cooper, which actually they hired a management consulting firm called Silk Road to find them a joint venture partner in China, because at that time, foreign direct investment was not allowed. So for half a year in my professional year, I went to different cities. I think it was about 13 cities and 13 economic development zones. And we actually helped Cooper to enter China. I also wrote 2 papers about it. Upon graduation, I got a job offer from Oracle. They were going to send me to America for a half-year graduation program, doing our rotations. But I also got an offer from Melbourne Uni, and I thought, oh, the sunshine, the handsome boys on the beach. Yes, that's the country I'm going for. So I rejected Oracle and came to Australia, studied my master's degree of applied commerce at Melbourne Uni. And I knew, comparing to the local students here, again, I'm in a vulnerable position. My English ability was not that good. I didn't understand the culture in Australia, so how could I be competitive when I come to the day that I need to find a job? Same thing. Try to accumulate as much experience as you can. So I started to work for one of the boutique firms, boutique financial advisory firms of AXA. Luckily, the BDM of AXA went to our office the other day, and then he saw me. I started chatting to him. I said, is it possible after I graduate that you could maybe give me an opportunity of having an interview so I can work for AXA, which is one of the largest superannuation companies in Australia, which now is merged by AMP, by the way. He said, yeah, of course, come to an interview. And then I went, and I failed in the interview because it was bloody computer tests that I totally didn't understand what it meant. Again, computer that was not designed for my brain. So tried for the second interview in half a year, and I got the job offer. That was my first official working experience as an investment consultant at AXA for 2 years. And later on, I did my master's degree, the second master's degree of wealth management. Well, got a job at Citibank as a relationship manager. I could tell you, those years was as hard as hell because I had to work 9 to 5 in the day, full-time, and also study full-time as well. At night, I do 4 subjects per semester. It was full-time study load. And I also have to socialize on the weekend because I'm a social butterfly, as my friends would say. After I finished my second master's degree, I continued with the studying. And I did my Certified Financial Planner, which is CFP. It's actually very similar to CPA and CA, which a lot of students here, you might know in accounting. It's a qualification requires a few years of working experience plus passing exams. So did that as well. And finished by the end of my Citigroup career. I got offered a job at Westpac. So I've been working at Westpac as a relationship manager, later on got promoted to a senior, and I've been there for 4 years. Enough about me. Let's talk about banking. I will ask how many of you actually is in finance, business, and management here? If you can raise up your hand. Okay, we have some. And Sean asked a question about how many actually want to work in the bank. Have anybody changed your opinion now that you would like to consider that as a job opportunity? No? Anyone? A bit higher? And wake up? Okay. So who can tell me, when we talk about the banking structure, if I can give you a snapshot of 2 different functions, major functions in the banking structure, who can stand up and tell me what are they? Anyone who is interested in banking, please? Okay, we have 2 functions. Functional units, actually. One is the back office of banking, includes all the operational side. And one is the front office, which is the sales side. The back office is designed to support the front line, to make it working more effectively and efficiently. So the back office, you can imagine the people sitting in the back office, and they do administration, they do risk control, they do information technology, human resources, and PR, and marketing. And frontline is where the business, the banks, generate profit. We're talking about retail banking. That's where you go into all the branches, you talk to your business or personal bankers, talk to your tellers, deposit your cash, get your credit cards, get your insurance. And we're talking about private. That's where the business unit handles 20% of the clients, has 80% of the wealth of the whole corporation and accounts. You know the 20-80 rule, right? 20% of people have 80% of the wealth. It same applies everywhere. So the private part deals with high net worth individuals. And then we have commercial and institutional, deals with medium-sized businesses and large corporations and financial institutions. So where I sit is that part that we deal with high net worth individuals. And we're talking about people who have millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars, sitting in their bank accounts. So what do I do in the day as a banker? Yeah, you have to love money. Come on, you work in the bank. If you smell money, you're like, eee. With that kind of expression on your face, I think you're choosing the wrong occupation. You just gotta love money and making profits. But what do I do in the day? I have meetings. And I have a lot of meetings with my clients. What it takes to be a successful banker, which I'm not saying I'm being successful, but my performance actually is top 3 in the country. I'm exceeding my target by 300%. A little bit of branding here, self-branding here. So what do I do? In the day, I have meetings. When I have meetings, what is important to conduct an effective meeting? First, communication skills. Communication skills actually can be learned and mastered through all kinds of experiences. When you have a meeting, you need to make sure it is structured, because you need to dig out every information. I'm not talking about the mistresses of your clients' information, that kind of thing, right? You need to understand every bit of information, financial information of this particular client in a very limited time frame, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depends on how much you have with the client. Why do you need to do that? Because this is what we do in the bank. We help our clients to figure out wealth creation and wealth protection strategies. We fully understand their financial situations and the financial goals they want to achieve, and we help them to get from point A to point B. That's what we do. That's where you find the satisfaction from, because you actually are helping people while making money out of it. So in the meeting, I'm talking about having a very structured meeting. You send the agenda to your clients. You never give them something unexpected. They come to the meeting, you shake their hands. Sherry has mentioned that is very, very important. You shake their hands. Ladies here, please don't do this with your client, because you're not a princess. They are not going to kneel on the ground and kiss your hand. So don't do this. You shake their hands firmly and look into their eyes and smile. That's very important. That's the first impression that you're going to give. When they sit down, you're going to break the ice. A lot of people are shy, and they think it's extremely hard to break the ice. But come on, it can't be that hard. They're human beings. You talk about something that everybody can talk about. What have you been doing on the weekend? Did you enjoy your time with your kids? What did you guys do? How was the AFL game on the weekend? Did you actually see that? Or with a Chinese client, maybe, a new migrant just came to Australia, and you say, so how was your life so far in Australia? Did you encounter something exciting? Did you like it? Did you hate it? They're going to open their mouths for you because they have a story to tell.
Brenda.
And 2 minutes, okay, 2 minutes actually after breaking the ice, and then you would make them realize they would trust you a little bit more. And then you go into the main structure of the meeting. You talk about who you are. You give your personal value statement. What a personal value statement is if you know what the 30 seconds lift speech is. Anybody knows the 30-second elevator speech? If you get stuck with your CEO in the elevator, you have 30 seconds to deliver a message to her or him, or how good you are. What have you been doing? Why are you so excellent? And making sure that she can remember you after the 30 seconds. That's your personal value statement. You're going to deliver that effectively within 30 seconds to your client, and making sure your client is going to trust you. And then you jump into the main part of the meeting. You ask your client, how long do you actually have for today? That's just purely being professional and respectful. And they're going to tell you, I have 45 minutes downstairs for parking. Maybe you're not going to talk about everything in banking. You're going to pick whatever is the most important for them to talk about. They're going to tell you, okay, I just inherited $3 million. The most thing that I want to talk about today is how to invest them. And you're going to talk about investments. And that's communication. You let them talk. You ask the right questions. It's not about you talking in the meeting, because in that way you can't get information from your clients. You need to understand what your client's financial situation is. You need to understand their assets and liabilities, income and expenses, their occupations, how long they have been doing it, how many kids they have in their family, what they have been doing in the past with investments, what their risk attitude is. Can they accept 10% of volatility in the market for the next 3 months? Have they actually done share trading, optional trading? Have they done any derivatives? Do they understand what currency trading means? So basically, you find out those informations, you unmap the client's current situation, and then you figure out a solution to help them to achieve their financial goals. So communication, again, is about giving them a very structured meeting and letting them know you are listening by asking the right questions to get that information effectively. Which is not done yet. Give me 3 more minutes, please. Second, let me wrap it up really, really quickly, that I would think experience and knowledge is very, very important for doing what I do. I had a lot of things to say to you guys today, but I think because of time limitation, I just want to say the things we do and the things we require, in particular knowledge and experience, that you cannot learn from uni. Come on, you can't learn it from a textbook. How you're going to talk to your clients, how you're going to structure the deal, how you're going to deliver a credit proposal of transaction risk, management risk, equity risk to your credit manager. You cannot learn that in uni. I'm not saying study is not important. It is very important because you're going to train your brain in the way you can be a fast learner. But you're going to learn your experience and knowledge, especially the industrial knowledges, through work. It seems like a chicken-egg problem that you can't have the experience and then you work, but if you don't have the experience, you can't get the job. It's not right. Don't aim too high sometimes. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't try to get into a large corporation at the start. Try to start from somewhere. Anywhere is better than nowhere. Try to start from a small boutique financial advisory firm, being a power planner, writing the 70 pages statement of advice, and correcting all the grammar mistakes. or be a broker assistant in a broker firm and typing data in the computer, that you can go into a meeting with your principal to understand how they would conduct the meeting, how they talk to their clients, how they communicate, how they grasp the information, and how they can gain the client's trust and making that relationship sticky. Last but not the least, I will talk about passion. I just can't emphasize enough how passion is important for being a banker. Because if you think picturing banking as, the movie Wolf of the Wall Street, we're getting paid $1 million and we travel on the first class, on plane everywhere, Dubai here, China there, tomorrow. Or we go party all the time. No, that's not a banker's life. I broke 2 of my ribs last month. I was off work for a month. I got stuck in my apartment, having my work phone on one hand, personal phone on another hand, talking with all my clients on WeChat and making calls all the time. It was just not that easy to be a banker. So don't think it's going to be a fancy life that you picture for yourself. You earn top dollars and doing nothing. It requires accountability, integrity, and persistence, and place the true interests of your clients in your heart. So know yourself, guys. Take a deep breath and think. Is this truly an occupation for you? Because if you don't enjoy selling shoes, being a sales in the shop, you probably wouldn't enjoy the life selling credit cards in the branches. If you don't enjoy speaking in front of public and making yourself the center of the attention, which I do, then you probably wouldn't want to be a sales and talking to your clients all the time. So know yourself. Know where your weaknesses and strengths are. Do a SWOT analysis on yourself. And tell yourself what your advantages and disadvantages are. What is your real interest? Once you know this, stick with it. And I'm sure you will get there sooner or later. Thank you.
谢谢 Brenda。你已经 walk off 了吗 ？OK， That's fine。没有，我觉得最大的给我的感受就是，以后我们